Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But we are in picks and bans right now, and they're moving along. The first ban off of Iron Dragon going to be Soraka, responded to by a very targeted ban of LeBlanc towards I'm Candy there.
Oh, I'm Candy? Huh?
Yeah, I'm Candy, typically the mid laner. Yeah, it looks like they're just a little out of order today. It is early, so they're probably not awake yet. Vayne banned off of Kisses for Cats, followed by Zac targeting Ain't Your Mommy there in the jungle with a questionable Nami ban.
Questionable? Why is that questionable? Nami's one of the strongest supports right now.
But she hasn't been performing in our series.
You're probably right, but we do see the Maokai ban to round off that first set of bans, as well as the Yuumi picked up for Iron Dragon. Yuumi being, in my opinion, probably the strongest support in the game, despite the nerfs.
Yeah, so I say she was just nerfed, and I still don't think it's enough. Kisses for Cats making a very solid move of taking off the Ezreal here. Yuumi as being one of the strongest lanes in the game at the moment.
Ezreal Graves is a strong 2 picks right there. Graves being one of the strongest junglers in the game. Ezreal being the strongest AD carry in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially after the Aphelios and Varus nerfs. Ornn picked up, speaking of Aphelios, and Aphelios also picked up for Iron Dragon. This is very typical of them. They want the super late game scaling that Ornn provides, and Aphelios is just the most scaling-ist ADC, it seems.
I think Ezreal still scales as a better AD carry, but like I guess it depends more on the situation of how they and the types of fights that they take.
This is very true, as this is League of Legends, and so no matter what we say, it's up to our players to actually make it happen. So we go into our second round of bans here.
I'm always a huge fan of the Volibear, especially like this rework. I really enjoy this reworked Volibear.
Yeah, I like its kit. It definitely feels a lot more intuitive and well designed than the original. But on a different note, Kassadin banned off of I'm Candy, another one of his very pick-heavy mid-lane choices, as Galio is banned out of Kisses for Cats, trying to keep that out of the mid lane. And Trundle, that's probably targeted at Ain't Your Mommy, once again, likes to jungle Trundle.
And Trundle would actually do pretty well into them as well, seeing as how Trundle could just steal the stats off of Volibear and run down most of these, or run down the Graves at least so far. And then Iron Dragon rounds out their bans with the Galio and Janna. So who knows what is going to happen here in terms of these picks. We see a Sona to try and match the Yuumi, which I believe Sona is actually one of the few champions that can actually match Yuumi later into the game. Because I don't think any support in the game actually can match Yuumi's late game, mid to late game.
Well, Sona will be locked in.
Let's see what we have left for Iron Dragon. We have a mid laner and a jungler on the side of Iron Dragon who will be picked here. So I don't really know like what rounds out this team comp really, because they have plenty of engage. They've got a tank front line, so they can really flex whatever they wanted here. A nice bruiser in Olaf, which is going to make it very difficult for champions like Sona and Volibear to really hold them back.
Yeah, I like the Olaf pick here.
I'm not sure if I do, because even with that, it'll still take Olaf a second or two. Probably way too long to get to champions like Graves and Ezreal. But we do see the Syndra to round out the team comp here. So they've got plenty of wave clear with the Syndra and Aphelios to sit there as a strong AD carry, especially in the mid game. You've got the late game guarantee between Ornn and Yuumi. Plenty of engage off of the Ornn, and Syndra can start fights herself if she really has to. And you have your bruiser frontline with Olaf and Ornn, so it's like you've got a really well-rounded team comp, got hitting every base. Same I could say for Kisses for Cats. They've got plenty of wave clear between Swain and Swain Graves, who can clear out waves pretty well. Volibear if he's under tower as well for engage, and so, as well as Sona. And then a lot of damage just to round out everything else between all the other 4 members that are not Sona. But I don't know. I don't think this is a champs-like game.
Yeah, both team comps look particularly well-rounded. However, to touch on that Swain, that is the first Swain played in the Ascendant League series. Pretty sure.
Very much excited to see the Swain, because I don't see a lot of Swain.
You don't play enough with me.
I don't.
I do enjoy me a nice little Swain support.
But as the spectator delay starts to tick down, we have about 2.5 minutes, as well as the loading screen before this game kicks off for us. But until then, we have our wonderful chat here. I want to see the ID wins in the chat, or if you want to see the KFC wins in the chat. I want to know who chat wants on this game. And we've already heard my win here. I want Kisses for Cats to take the dub away. I want to see Iron Dragon go 6-3. Prove to the rest of the league that Iron Dragon is not the same Titans they once were.
Well, I would very much like Iron Dragon to step up their early game and figure out how to actually do something before the 15-minute mark, and show that they deserve the title of returning champion. So my vote is going to be with Iron Dragon.
You're also an Iron Dragon fan, so I guess that's kind of fair. Or am I wrong? Are you not an Iron Dragon fan?
Oh, I'm still an Iron Dragon fan.
That's what I thought. I wonder how many Iron Dragon fans we have in the chat, because I see a couple of ID wins. I see that guy finally in chat.
Good of him to wake up.
He's usually here earlier. I was wondering why he hasn't flamed me yet. Or tried to call a 1v1. Wow, calling me dog. Still a higher ranked after falling from grace. Falling from my wonderful plat 1.
Proldanu with a very good point here. Not a fan of ID, but still thinks they will win.
I don't know. I like their team. I do like Iron Dragon's team comp a bit more. Feels more solid. But I believe in the early game.
Oh, Windsor Tort. Yeah, Windsor Tort coming to the defense of Iron Dragon here.
Saying they deserve the title of returning champion no matter how they play, which is true because they did win last split, so. Although with teams like NG Blossom, who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows if they'll be able to keep up with it? Seeing as how Iron Dragon is a very mid to late game focused team. But let's see if they prove me wrong. With the spectator delay finally finishing up and us and getting into loading in the champs loading screen. I'm just all over the place today. But is that glacial augment Swain in the mid lane?
I can see glacial augment on this kit. You're looking to become like a caster bruiser.
I don't know. I just haven't seen glacial augment on Swain before. It's literally the first time I've even heard of that. But we do see the Phase Rush Syndra, so it's going to be very hard to catch her out. As we've got the Cleanse coming in from on the Aphelios, which means that the Heal Exhaust on Yumi is going to come into play very hard on that. And otherwise, everything else seems pretty standard. With the Conqueror Ezreal, the Phase Rush Graves, the Press the Attack Volibear. I don't know about the Press the Attack Volibear, especially into Ornn, but we'll see how that works out in the top lane, as well as our typical Airy on the Sona.
Yeah, definitely what you expect to see there.
Because I feel like, although like in a lot of the Enchantress supports, like even me in particular has been taking Guardian on Lulu, for example, but like those are more like shield heavy champions. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes like just taking the Mana Flow Band Transcendence is just too good to pass up. Even the Gathering Storm sometimes I choose over the what is it, Scorch.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Gathering Storm, so
I mean, Gathering Storm doesn't usually get that many stack. Gets just the two stacks, the 2 free stacks, and that's it. Because most games end before the 30-minute mark, at least for me. But the game has been paused, so there seems to be some slight difficulties going on there.
no, as the game starts back. Well, let's see if we have a nice 5-point start or an invade.
We
Team
did
Toxicrome versus. Oh.
see a 5-point start yesterday, and it looks like we're going to see another one today. Very happy to see that. You know I love me that 5-point start. Make sure that there's no early game shenanigans.
And see, I love my early game shenanigans.
I don't, especially when people are trying to play for the mid game. Everyone wants to play for the mid game because that's where everyone starts popping off at like 1 to 2 items.
Well, not much going on at the moment.
Just wards being
Looks
placed,
like,
making sure that there's nothing going on.
yeah, Double XL putting a pretty nice deep ward in there to see when Ain't Your Mommy goes to his blue buff.
I think it's a little early for it. Usually you want to place that ward around a minute 30 so that it makes sure that it clips into the excuse me, when the enemy jungler heads over there, in case they're not starting on that side, which they're not. Ancient Mommy out here starting off with the standard red. Let's see if what Frico said to me yesterday comes into play with the early game Olafs. There is a ward here on the Raptors, so they are going to be spotted out here.
And you're doing a very healthy clear for Olaf. Normally, he will let himself get a little bit lower. Ooh, he gets cheeky and actually catches that ward there.
I was spotting it out, just feeling it. But yeah, that was kind of where I was going with that, because usually a lot of Olaf players will allow themselves to get low for the bonus attack speed, which will give them a huge boost to their clear speed. Like I've literally seen Olaf clear his entire jungle before the 3-minute mark, and I'm just like, yikes. And I do the same thing because I play that champion on one of my other accounts. But otherwise, everything else seems to be pretty standard so far. Nothing too crazy coming out of the way. Some damage being traded back and forth in the mid lane. Seems I'm Candy already feeling the Syndra nerfs on the mana.
Yeah, blowing through his mana very fast there. As Kevin 7600 just tries to get some harass here, trying to get his stacks off on that swing. Kind of start scaling towards the beefier caster that you typically go with him.
I We see Ham hitting in for a cheeky invade on Ancient Mummy, but Ancient Mummy already clearing the top side of the jungle, not gonna lose anything for it. Looking towards his bot side crab while Ham goes for the top one.
Oh, never
But it
mind.
seems
Ain't
as
your
though I'm
mommy's
Candy's
gonna go
looking for it,
mid. Flash is coming off of Kevin 7600 as
as
he
well as
will
the
get
heal.
away there. Yeah.
There is no mana available for I'm Candy with only enough for one more Q.
And
But they
Ain't your
might.
mommy's gonna have to work for the scuttle if he wants it. Man, it
Yep.
looks like he's just gonna get pushed off of it.
No smite available, which means that Ham is going to be pretty far ahead, having claimed both scuttles for himself. And Ham is still not done, still trying to play aggressive early, trying to take away these raptors. And will do so for free, because it seems as though Ancient Mommy isn't even gonna do the Krugs. Putting Ham quite like getting all of these small leads are going to add up. And it
Ooh,
seems to
Ham
be
coming
coming
in
out here.
on mid. I'm Candy slightly out of position here as Kevin's going to try to get a root in about a second from now, and he's actually going to land the root. Going to get super low for it, but the kill will go over to Ham, and Kevin's going to push that to get slightly further ahead. Say your mom is going to hide here in the wings, hoping to maybe get a pick. Instead, it looks like he's just going to defend mid lane.
And it was just unfortunate the way that just played out, because I'm Candy could have at least taken the trade kill back, only surviving Kevin only surviving from the missed Syndra Q. The Dark Sphere actually missed there at like the very last one that would have killed, which is unfortunate, but it does put Ham quite a bit ahead, and the game is currently on Ham to really continue influencing. Ancient Mommy looking in for another invade here. Just maybe might go for the Krugs.
Yeah, looks like you will just settle for the Krugs. Double XL stepping back here to maybe contest this a little bit. Lava Chess should probably step forward to pinch this. Double XL could be in a lot of danger. However, it looks like Lava Chess is just going to shove in his minion away before doing just that. And Ain't Your Mommy going to have to walk his way out of here. Call of the Forge God coming in. Flash used by Double XL to get out. Ham in a poor position here as I'm Candy is going to drop some damage, but Kevin here as well gonna run straight into Ain't Your Mommy, who's gonna get super low, picked off by the Graves. Ham getting stronger as we go, but he's going down, and that fight went back and forth very aggressively.
That was really messy. I feel as though like that fight could have gone either way if Ancient Mommy hadn't stepped so far back, or if, like at the beginning of it, or if stepped so far forward on the second half of that fight where he ended up dying. Could have gone either way, that fight, especially with the ultimate available that was from Lolta Chess. The Call of the Forge God really forcing out the flash from Double XL. Like a lot of things could have went differently there.
Absolutely. Kevin may be overstaying just a little bit here as I'm Candy is going to pick up the solo kill pretty handily.
And that'll
Having
turn
just
into
enough mana.
two kills for I'm Candy. Really proving it why they are one of the best mid laners in this league. Although Ham is here in the bot lane, and they're not, and Shilu's not backing up more than enough, so we will see how that plays out.
Lots of
Abilities
damage
being
coming
tossed left and
through.
right.
Heal comes off of the Yumi, and Shilu looks like he's trying to turn this fight, which may be just a little bit aggressive. The exhaust goes down, and Ham's going to just kind of walk away from that as Lala Chess made his way all the way down here. Not for or without a lot to show for it, as Giz's for Cat's going to go straight into the Dragon Pit.
And I thought that the turnaround that forced out the exhaust from Scope's Yumi was a little bit ambitious, seeing as how there was no mana available from Lai Shilu. But Ham is sitting here in the mid lane. I'm Candy, smelling something's wrong and heading towards the top side of the lane. Gold differences across the map, not terribly too different right now. Only the CS
Up in
differences.
top lane, looks like Ain't Your Mommy is going to come in for a gank. As the bear gets knocked up, he's going to juke his way out, but it's not going to be enough. Lalachev's going to pick up the kill on Double XL with the Call of the Forged God securing that kill.
You got to be really careful up there in that top lane without, even with the wards, like getting spotted out by the wards. It was still a little too late for Double XL to escape that. Pink ward being replaced to see if they can pick up this Rift Herald.
Looks like it will be fairly uncontested as Ham's going to take the time to clear his Krugs, and no one's really going to step up to even so much as ward this. Ham going to defend top tower, and that should mean that Ain't Your Mommy should get this pretty clean, as Ham might just actually get here in time. It's going to stop on the ward, isn't going to be looking, and just misses out on that. But meanwhile, in mid lane, Kevin picks up a kill onto I'm Candy, sneaking that in while the drama of the Rift Herald unfolded. Brown, what's your opinion on this rather cheeky invade from Ham here?
I think it works out. The invade is well done here because you don't have, because the mid lane has prio, but there's no one here, and you know that the Iron Dragon jungler is not going to rotate to you for like another 20 seconds at least, so you have plenty of time here. So the only person who can come up is I'm Candy on the Syndra, but is I'm Candy gonna even be able to do anything to you at that point? I don't think so. Probably put some damage down, but definitely can't kill you.
Well, it most certainly panned out as he was able to clear out the top side of the enemy jungle before backing in fairly safely.
Ham really trying to assert the dominance and prove that they are a better jungler than Ain't Your Mommy. But looking back into the bot lane for a hot second, it seems as though something might come up down here with Ham here on the bot side, and then once again pushing up. There is no ward to spot out Ham here. And
and Elijah Lu is in a poor position. He's going to be chunked down super hard. The Ezreal goes through. Unstoppable is dropped on the Ain't Your Mommy, but it's just going to get him out, and that's it, as the Yuumi will cast the final chapter to try to stall out that engage. All in all, a remarkably well-performed engage from... oh, never mind. As this fight turns right back around, it wasn't over just yet. Ham catching out... I don't even actually know who got that kill. Brown, give me a breakdown.
Okay, so pretty much Meowing Cat Sona got that kill actually, but what ended up happening was with the hard invade there, knowing that Scope and Candy could not properly engage that or push them out, just popped abilities on each other, and we're unable to really find anything on the side of Iron Dragon. But Ain't Your Mommy was sitting there and was trying to take the Krugs. And they just came in.
Which Elijah Lu in a poor position here is going to get picked out, stepping way too far forward, expecting the enemy team just to finish their backs. Instead, they turn around and pick up the kill.
Very greedy play coming from Elijah Lu, ending up in their death.
Their death adds some damage onto this turret, as probably a whole nother plate will fall. Young Cat taking 2 tower shots here for no particular reason. Ooh, speaking of cats, Yuumi out of position. Skopectus is going to die very quickly here. Heal's going to go down. It's not going to be enough to save. The Ezreal gets killed in return due to a little bit of sloppy play there.
Sloppy movement more so than the play itself. I thought the play was very clean.
Well, sloppy movement indeed, as Brown and Autumn's assessment is really inaccurate.
When you study a game for 7 years, it kind of it's kind of hard not to.
Ham looking to duke it out once again with Lai Lu. This time, however, it does not seem to be going in his favor, as they're going to get super close onto each other, and the kill will eventually go to Lai Lu on the Aphelios.
Also handing double buffs there.
Ooh, fight
Top
mid
lane.
lane.
Oh, mid lane.
Yeah. Swain doing a fair bit of damage and using his ult on the Iron Candy. As a Dragon Steal occurs, Sono goes down, the bear goes in, and your mommy is in a poor position. Double XL looks to duke this out, but he's going to have to back away. Lolachess is in the back line, doing his best on that Forge God, as he is going to go in further. The sun goes off, Double XL landing his skill shots, positioning himself well, and all in all, that fight seemed to go in favor of Kisses for Cats. However, they still lost the dragon.
I think that with the way that turned out, it wasn't bad. I think that actually ends up working out for Iron Dragon, despite them really losing that. Scope really tried to get that, but CCO also gifted some subs here, from what I'm being
Yes,
from what I'm seeing in the chat.
CCO dropping the 5 gift sub. We appreciate that mighty kindly, and wants to shout out with a Go ID. Well, we have another Iron Dragon fan coming out as CCO drops 5 more subs. Really sharing the love today as a fight breaks out. Ain't Your Mommy might be out of position, but Ham's the one really in trouble, as he is going to get caught here. Lala Chess is there in the back line once again, but Double XL is right on his tail. Lala Chess way too deep. He's going to get die for his aggression.
Yeah, they kind of just left Lol the Chess out there to die because I guess there was a little bit of miscommunication on whether or not they were going to stick to that fight or not, because they did. I'm assuming they did notice the four champions of Kisses for Cats coming up to the Rift Herald, but didn't react fast enough to disengage it.
Super unfortunate.
But taking a quick look at the build so far, Sharon Fang's Ezreal in a very good spot, having finished the Manamune and having the Sheen. I don't think that this fight is going to go too well.
No, that did not go the way he was expecting, as Rift Herald will be dropped top lane. We'll get 2 charges off by the looks of things, as Ham and the gang are going to push this up. They are rather ham-fisted, but it is playing out in their favor, as Shelly gets a second charge. Lolachess in probably a poor position here trying to defend this tower, is going to have to back off, as multiple members of Iron Dragon push mid, trying to stop Kevin, who's going to have to flash away. Meanwhile, back in top lane, Shelly gets another charge off, does more damage. There goes the inhib tower, and Kisses for Cats is going to back off on that note.
Kisses for Cats really pushing the envelope there with the Rift Herald with that play.
Yeah, Elijah Liu solo defending this mid turret right now while he's getting poked at by Sharon Fang and Kevin. Will be able to keep his turn alive for a little bit longer. It's only sitting at half health now.
And despite being down like 60 CS, Sharon Fang is actually in a better position than Lai Xiaolu, given the 2 extra towers, as well as having finished the Manamune and the Sheen. The damage is just going to be there on Sharon Fang for the rest of the game. And it's only going to get stronger.
Yeah, the Ezreal is currently scaling up quite effectively, definitely ahead of his lane opponent. The Aphelios doing his best to catch up, but Lai Lu is not in a super favorable position at the moment. Neither is Meowing Cat, as, never mind. Instead, the jungler of Iron Dragon is going to find himself in trouble as he is going to eventually die, picked up by Ham on this Graves, who has been absolutely punishing, as I'm Candy might be in slightly poor position here. Never mind, Skopeftis is going to try to leap onto a friendly member of his team at the last second, which he will succeed in doing. Lots of damage traded over, but Iron Dragon having to back off. As I'm Candy having to flash away, and it's not enough. Meowcat picking up the kill on the Sona after doing a very, very cheeky and aggressive flash. However, it most certainly has paid off as the Sona picks up a kill.
There's a lot going on, and we looking back towards this top lane yet again. Double XL just splitting the game away. Final chapter not quite in range, and it seems as though Double XL a little taunting here. Little BM dancing just on the way out, but Elijah Lu is up here with Skopeftis again. Hopefully they'll be able to pick him up this time.
Nope. Looks like Double XL is going to flash his way out. While that was happening, Kisses Forgets did pick up a second drag for themselves.
And the Ocean Dragon is once again, in my opinion, and a lot of professional opinion, is the strongest dragon, because there's just nothing you can do to stop that healing. Like that 2.5% per 5 of your missing health is way too massive, in my opinion. Because it's just like you can be in a fight, and over the course of like a 20-second fight, even like that's 4 procs. That's 10% of your missing health over the course of a fight. So if you're sitting at like 50% HP the whole fight, then you've got yourself quite a hefty heal going on there for free.
Yeah. Ocean Soul is an absolute powerhouse.
Oh yeah, and Ocean Soul in and of itself is also super strong, because not only at this point, since both teams got one of the early dragons, whoever gets Soul will have 3 of the Ocean Dragons on top of that Soul. A 7,000 gold difference between the teams, by the way, and if I may, I think pointing out that Ham has over 100 CS over Ancient is, and 4 levels is a huge difference in the jungle, really proving why Ham is a better jungler in this game.
Today. Of note, Iron Dragon isn't quite beaten out of this yet. The Aphelios up by 50, 60 CS. Could be relevant as Ham gets caught with the last chapter. I'm Candy may have actually saved him there with the push.
I didn't get to see how many stacks of True Grit he had before that started, before he got caught there. But it seems as though
slowing down.
Yeah, things are slowing down, which is what we want to see from Iron Dragon. Iron Dragon really wants to take the time to do what they do.
Ham looking to juke it out with Ain't Your Mommy. Right now, going deep into the enemy base. This could be entirely too greedy. He's got big shutdown gold on him. As Elijah Lu's going to do his best to stay alive and get the kill. The kill will actually go to I'm Candy.
Pretty big shutdown.
Coming out of nowhere to get the return kill.
As well as the Arcane Barrage.
Yeah. As this will be an inhibitor falling. Elijah Ilu in a very poor position here, trying to be kept alive by Skopeftis, who is doing their best. But Yumi's heals are only so effective, and as strong as they are, it's hard to heal through all that damage.
Oh yeah, especially on when it's multiple champions attacking you at once. 3 items completed on Ham's Graves here, and almost at 10 CS per minute as a jungler. Really taking over this game.
As we peak the 24-minute mark, there's currently a 7,000 or 6,500 gold difference between these two teams. Kisses for Cats definitely coming out the stronger at the moment as we look to have a nice big team fight. Ham in a poor position, however, it's not going to matter as his team was prepared to go in, and that will be an incredibly fast ace, and Iron Dragon looks to be in an exceptionally poor position now as they basically took that fight at full health.
There was not really any damage in return from that, and even the final chat, like ultimates were not even able to be used there. Like the Ragnarok, the Unleashed Power, the Moonlight Vigil, not even the final chapter was able to be used there. But it seems as though instead of going for Baron off of that Kisses for Cats opts for the Dragon and bot lane. Or in both lanes, really. They picked up both of the tier 2s there. So now is a 6 tower difference between these teams.
A 6 tower difference and an 11,000 gold difference as this is looking decidedly one-sided.
As each member of Kisses for Cats has 2 to 3 items finished. Even Meowing Cat's Sona with a 25 stacked Magi's.
Wait,
and a
what?
fully stacked tier. And a fully stacked tier item.
Good lord.
Yeah, have fun messing with that Sona, who I still believe is the best late game support in the game. And she has already gotten to that point.
Yeah, just being able to constantly spam out your spells and produce a steady amount of damage and healing. I do enjoy some really good Sona play, although I do find it quite tedious in the early game.
In the early game is the hardest part of playing Sona. It's like once you get past that and you get into the mid to late game, that's when she really comes online as a champion and proves time and time again why she's the best late game support to have on your team.
Now, it looks like Team Kisses for Cats will finally make the Baron call, as Iron Dragon has absolutely no plans of defense for it.
And giving that Baron will probably spell the end of the game with now a 10,000 or 11,000 gold difference. Almost 12.
And there goes the mid-turret as the siege begins. I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end here as Kevin will land a root on a Lala chest, who's going to drop the Call of the Forge God, just trying to stay alive a little bit longer, but it's not going to matter. This fight's quickly turning into a slugfest that is most certainly in the favor of Kisses for Cats as they look for another pick here. Instead, they shift an Audible onto the bot lane tower. Ham getting a little low here as Double XL is going to go deep into the enemy back line, just about leaping into the enemy spawn, but he's going to back off at the last second. But Meowing Cat's going to get a cheeky kill.
That is a lot of damage on Meowing Cat.
That's a scary Sona.
If you thought AP Sona was scary.
Yeah. As TP goes in, and this will be the end, as Iron Dragon cannot even leave their spawn. The Nexus will drop here due to minion damage alone, if that's all that's required, as Lalachess and Skopeptis most certainly cannot defend this. And one final kill will spell the end, as Skopeptis will die. The scores will be padded, and that is a 27-7 win for Kisses for Cats.
Very, very commanding fashion that Ham, it seemed almost single-handedly took over the game. Was everywhere, was doing everything that needed to be done. It was always in the right place to do things, and even when they weren't in the right place, it was just, it didn't matter. It was so far ahead at the point, by the points that where he was out of position, that it just didn't matter. Was able to sit there and take damage and do whatever, especially after finishing the Death Dance, which was nerfed, by the way, for ranged champions.
Yes, it was, and well, that was quite the show. As we will try to get somebody in to talk to in just a second.
The higher ups are telling me that they're trying to get Ham.
As just want to point at the fully completed Seraph's Embrace and Magi Soul Stealer on that Sona. That's
the
gross.
game is 6-0-16, having the fully stacked out. Didn't even have boots, or is that a visual bug? Didn't have boots?
No, I don't see boots. I don't think he. No boots, none.
No boots the whole game. Just relying completely on that E for the move speed.
Well, it worked. Maybe that's the new strat. Might have to try that one in my solo queue adventures.
It would seem.
Looks like we do, in fact, have someone to talk to right now.
Yeah.
Loud background noise.
That's why everyone's like.
You all right over there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right, take me through that, Ham.
I'm sorry.
Like, how did you play? Like, what was your team's plan going into this game?
We were doing kind of two things at once. We were playing a team-wide Tetris match while we were doing it. So whenever we were based, we were just making sure that we were focus on that. I won the Tetris match, by the way, so I was happy about that. And yeah, just try to die as little as possible, and then try not to spend too much time in base playing Tetris.
Man is out here playing Tetris in the middle of games. Come and help this man. My big thing about this game was how you commanded the jungle, and how you completely took it over, and how you just knew that you were able to just walk in certain times and just bully out Ancient Mommy over and over again.
Yeah, he's playing Olaf. He can't really move, so I just Graves has his dash, so I just dash over walls, and then I like dying. I like fighting, so whatever happens. I died to that Felio spot too. He's pretty good. He could outplay on me.
It's fine for me. Monochrome, you got any questions?
Yeah. So the Swain call. What made your team decide that was the mid lane they wanted to use?
Yeah, so we had he wasn't meant to be our mid laner. We had 3 subs, and then this guy I think he's supposed to play ADC or something, and then he only plays Swain mid. So when they didn't ban it, we knew we had it, and that was all we had. If they banned Swain or picked Swain, you'd have to play something like Karma or something. So I'm glad that they didn't.
Okay.
That was the reason.
Now, looking forward, where do you see yourselves now that you have taken on and taken down Iron Dragon? Who's next on your list?
We're coming. We're gonna kill those Blossom guys. We're gonna win every single match for the rest of the tournament. I don't see us losing ever again. I don't know, man. I don't know their names. I know they're not very good.
Oh my god.
They're in our way, so we're gonna topple them. That's all it comes down to. Not much more.
The gauntlet has been thrown. NG Blossom, you guys got targets on your backs, as you know. So this is going to be a fun one. They said they're not losing another game this split.
Well, that's confidence right there.
That is definitely confidence, but that's all I've got. If Chad has anything left to say, maybe if they want to ask something, I don't know. But that's it for me.
All right, good talk, boys.
All right. Well, it was a great having you, and I think on that note, we will cut to a short break while we prepare for our next game. This is Monochrome 94 with my co-caster Brown and Unum, and we'll see you in just a minute.
And to keep you guys on the edge of your seats, we do have Huge Minion Difference versus Julia Duck when we come back, and that's definitely a game you don't want to miss.